Coming to you all the way from Norfolk, Virginia, Go On Podcast presents The Sexperts.
Turn on your computer, dial up the web, download some information into your head. It's Dr. John and Delilah, they're having a great time. Gotta do it simply true, we're the Sexperts.
And we're recording, and intro music, and hi there, welcome to The Sexperts. I am your host, Dr. John T. Alaniz, SCPM.
And I'm Delilah Haydair, inventor of the soon-to-be-released VO6.
Whoa,
Hair shampoo.
VO6, it's a sequel to VO5?
Sure. I don't think it was a sequel, just the latest iteration, but yeah.
That's what a sequel is. The latest, like there was the Terminator and then the Terminator 2.
But it ain't like you can't wash your hair with VO6 if you didn't wash your hair with VO5. It ain't like you won't understand VO6. It ain't like VO6 has references that you need to bathe in VO5 to understand.
Do you think people have the same qualms with 409? They're like, well, I didn't clean with the other 400 bullshits. Like,
well, some people, but if you were close with their grandparents, they may have taught you what it was like to have cleaned with the older versions.
And that's about the same. Yeah. We all have legacies. All right. Welcome. If you're just tuning in, this is the beginning of the podcast. We are the Sexperts. We are your Sexperts. We've been sexperting for 20-some years between the two of us.
Speaking of legacies.
Yeah?
We have quite the sexperting legacy.
What is that?
The one we're describing right now.
Oh. I thought you meant...
we've said I was the first Guinness Book of World Records, look it up. I was the first sexpert to sexpert in every single continent.
Yeah. And you've almost made all 50 states, but you don't have the four corners. So you're going to knock out four right there.
I don't have a license for the four corners.
All right. So we come to you every week from a different location with a different topic. I am playing it safe. I'm super safe in my recording bunker. Where are you dialing in from, Delilah?
I am at the Johnson & Johnson headquarters in Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Oh, wow. J&J. Okay. So are you, I thought you were freelancing, or are you actually employed by Johnson & Johnson?
I'm working here.
Okay. You don't sound
Most
happy.
people here are preoccupied with some sort of vaccine that they're working on, but not me. I've got my nose to the grindstone, and I'm pounding out VO6 for the people. Yeah,
a vaccine is going to be is basically inevitable. You put a bunch of monkeys in a room with a typewriter that's going to pound out Shakespeare. If everybody's working on the vaccine, yeah, of course you're going to get quicker. But after the vaccine, people need to wash their hair. I agree. I see your perspective.
Thank you.
I must have nailed it because you're like, yeah, no, you well said.
It's always nice that you have my back.
This is an I have your back episode, Delilah. Okay. Different topics. So let's introduce our topic of the week. Now, speaking of vaccines, we have had all kind of because I think a lot of people get their news from the Sexperts. They hear everything here first. So we do like to talk about COVID. In fact, since the pandemic hit, we've had all COVID topics, which is not that hard. It's easy to come up. Just come up with the top of my head. For instance, today's is actually the topic of the day is fornicating in the form of Dr. Fauci. So fornicating with Dr. Fauci, or something like that. Anyways, it's the recommended sexual positions, sexual practices that Dr. Fauci has rubber stamped. So Dr. Fauci.
For other people.
Yeah. Wait, what'd you think?
I thought you were teaching us how to have sex with Dr. Fauci himself.
Well, he's speaking from experience, but yeah. So I've been
my research this week was a little bit off topic, I guess.
All right, so fornicating with Dr. Fauci. I want to hear his perspective on this. Let's introduce our guest. Hi there, welcome.
Hello. I'm Dr. Jim Stacey.
Another doctor. Wow. So we're talking about Dr. Fauci. We have Dr. Jim Stacey. I'm Dr. John T. Alaniz. You feel a little inadequate, Delilah? I don't want to point out the elephant in the room, but he's there.
Yeah, all I've done is invent VO6. I'll be fine.
Just to clear the air,
Yeah.
I'm not a medical doctor.
Okay.
I'm a doctorate of engineering. I'm an island developer.
You develop islands.
Well,
Yeah,
just to continue to clear the air, Dr. John T. Alaniz is not a medical doctor either. He's a certified professional midwife who calls himself a
I got
doctor.
promoted, senior certified promotion. Now, the thing is, yes, I didn't go to MD school, but I went to CPM school, and I got my doctorate in midwifery. So anyways, okay. What is this engineering islands? I saw this. I came across your name in a Time magazine pull-out advertisement. What do you do?
So essentially, I go around different tropical islands, bioterrored islands. I go to different islands and I decorate the islands. I put different benches around.
Whoa.
I build water ways. I put different houses around the island.
Wow.
I also put maybe a table or two. I develop different islands.
Yeah, you're almost like an interior designer, but for the outerior.
Essentially, yes. So I can also design different templates that other people can use for their islands. Let's say if someone wants a blanket, I can get them a blanket and put the blanket on the island.
So you also weave blankets? You are a man of many talents, my friend.
Look, it's a hard job, and many people come to me. They want to move to my islands. They're in hot demand, and there's just an essential economy that's kind of not well known on these islands as well.
Wow. Now I want to back up because I got pretty terrified, but you don't sound like a scary guy. Did you say you're a bioterrorist?
Biotarium. So it's when you have
what's the difference?
Structure the bioterrorism, they put like salmonella or other infectious disease inside the food supply. That would be bioterrorism.
Okay, and then
bioterroring is more of developing islands under a certain environment that's suited to the biology of the island.
Now
like
this
benches or chairs or things of that nature.
Okay, this may be an outside the box kind of thing, but if you say kind of fucked up an island and you bioterror whatever thinged an island, and let's just scrap it. You just said let's just like demolish it. Would you then hire a bioterrorist to just fuck everything up that you just made, or
essentially, or we could just flatten the island?
Yeah, maybe like drop maybe an A-bomb or something like that. Yeah, I gotcha.
Or get a shovel and just get to work yourself.
Wow. You work hard. Do you work with a team, or is it just you?
It's mostly just me, and then there's another guy. His name is Tom.
Okay.
He goes around. He manages all the financials of everything. But if I could sell him different items I find around the island, and he buys them for me for a pretty penny.
Okay. Now, is he? What kind of personality does he have? Is he like a sneaky snake, or is he? What is his personality like?
Something that's not alliterative.
He's mostly a capitalist.
A capitalist. Okay. All right.
So he wants to
capitalist cat.
He's more of a raccoon, I guess.
Oh, he's kind of like he digs around in the trash and tries to like squelch every penny out of people, kind of thing.
Essentially, yeah. He gives you a big, home loan, and you got to pay him back. He's got a lot of taxes, and you got to just keep on paying them, and you just come on developing the island a little bit more.
Holy shit. I mean,
one thing I didn't hear mentioned of the decor and whatnot that you do to these islands was engineering any affordable housing.
Yes.
Oh,
I mean, the situation on a lot of islands between the haves and the have-nots is pretty bad, and it seems to me like maybe you're making it worse.
Good point.
That is a good point. I would say that every island has its max limit capacity of how many people can live there. So if you're at 5 people and you can't pay, sorry, you got to send the rest off.
Whoa, this is crazy. I'm fascinated by this. We do have to get into our topic of the day because we promised the listeners. So, fornicating with Dr. Fauci, some recommended forms and positions Dr. Fauci recommends in the pandemic. So, actually, start off with.
Do you yourself live on any islands, or you just?
Oh, yeah, it's a good question.
I do have the largest house on each island. So each island I go to, I make sure that my house is the biggest house.
Wow.
You got to make sure that you treat the people who, put the things out there like waterfalls and coconut trees. You got to make sure that you're taking care of yourself.
Now, this sounds okay. Again, I don't know. Maybe I'm just in a bad mood or something like that. I'm kind of the neggy Nancy here, but there's got to be some sort of strife, violence, like Delilah was talking about. Uprisings between classes. The proletariat and the bourgeoisie. What's going on? What's going on your island? Give us some dirt.
Oof. One time. Okay. This is a little bit hard to explain. One time there was a fella named Roscoe. He got in a little tough with Diana.
Yeah.
He apparently sold the shell collection of Diana to Tom Nook without Diana knowing. So there's a lot of internal conflict in terms of price negotiation. There's a lot of paperwork involved in decorating the tropical island here.
Wow. Yeah. This sounds like some cutthroat capitalism stuff. And you said they were working for Shell Oil, or?
Mainly seashells, like conch shells, sand dollars, gold coins, of things of that nature.
Fun fact, the first episode of Sexperts was recorded with us talking into a conch shell.
Yeah, it was very reflective. I liked hearing my own voice.
In order to hear it, you had to put your ear up to it.
We passed it around. We got 10 views because we passed it around the campfire.
And we're still chasing those kind of numbers.
Okay. Well, what about relationships? So you talk about, there's only like sometimes 5 people per island. Do you all play hanky panky together, or what's going on there? Yeah.
It's a communal type environment. Like if one guy wants to, ramshackle with another guy or another lady of their choosing with consent, they must act accordingly. And an island can be small. So you must sign the proper waivers and agreements between the harboring, the different parties that want to engage in such activities.
This again, like this is like the most bureaucratic island I've ever heard of. Now here's something you talking about, like currencies, gold coins, shells, and all that sort of stuff. Is there prostitution on these islands, and what's the kind of going rates?
Ooh, the going rate for prostitutions is pretty high on the island. Let's say if you're one of the OG villagers or OG inhabitants of the island, your price rate's obviously gonna be much higher than the lower ranks of the new islanders.
Wow.
First come, get first served.
Wow.
Basically.
Okay. Now is Tom Nook involved in this? That old raccoon?
He is. He sets the standard rates.
So he's basically a pimp.
Top Daddy, we call him.
Top Daddy. Wow. Okay. Speaking of Top Daddy, we gotta get to the Top Daddy epidemiologist of the country, Dr. Fauci. Dr. Fauci's fornication.
What, do you have kids, Jim Stacey?
Well, that's kind of a personal question. Why do you ask that?
Well, it seems to me like he's destroying these landscapes of these islands, and I would think if he had kids, he'd be more concerned with the future of the islands and their sustainability.
Oh,
and
I'm getting the sense that he doesn't care about the future.
I think that's a correct sense, Delilah. I don't care about the future of the children.
Wow.
Mostly because there's so many islands out there. You've got, you got a tropical island. You got yourself a big rock island. You got an island with fish on it. As you just move from island to island, they're just.
But do you realize there's going to be less islands in the future?
Yeah.
As the sea levels rise?
Yeah.
Well, that's a good point, but it's not a point that I have to consider at the moment.
Whoa. Okay.
It's happening right now.
Yeah.
It's happening right now here in Minneapolis, the land of 1,000 lakes. We now have the land of 1,500 lakes.
Wow. That's a lot more lakes than 1,000.
Well, now I kind of know
it's
some
rising lake levels.
I know some super capitalists like yourself, Dr. Jim Stacey, who actually have the same. They're just like, I don't have to worry about that right now. And if they did, they would actually just move to the fucking moon. They're like, okay, I'm out of islands on Earth. I'm going to Mars. I'm sure they got plenty of islands.
Yep, just like Mr. Elon Musk. Once you have enough money, you can shoot yourself anywhere. In terms of space orbit,
I'm coming around to seeing your perspective. I used to be kind of crunchy, like vegan, sort of liberal hippie type. But now I'm like, you know what? Fuck all that. Like, when I'm getting out of this pandemic, I'm buying me a bunch of islands.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to be just a slumlord. I'm going to be a slumlord on these fucking islands. I'm going to get 5 people on my island, and I'm going to tell them, I'm going to be like, hey, you owe me, 5 conch shells per day. And if you don't pay up, I'm going to kick your ass to the curb.
I don't even know you anymore, right. Dr. John.
I know.
When we started this, it was about teaching people about sex. And now it wasn't about the money.
Yeah.
And now look at you. You're like a capitalist raccoon.
I know. Yeah, I know. But I don't care. I'm shameless. The pandemic has changed me. How's the pandemic changed you, Dr. Jim Stacey?
You know what? The pandemic has changed. It moved me more to a technology-based island development. So let's say if a villager or a person wants to leave your island, you can go ahead and trade them a certain amount of money to get better tools and resources to, develop more islands.
Wow. My head's spinning with the possibilities, but it's just like more and more islands and more shells and more coins and more and more and more and more and more and more.
Exactly right.
Wow. More and more exploited locals.
Oh my
more
God.
And more just like wealth distribution gaps. More and more educational gaps and healthcare gaps, and I'm anti-gap.
Look, Delilah, I see your point, but what have you done to help yourself lately?
Oh, good. Yes. Good question.
Okay. Do you see my hair right now? My hair is on VO6, brother. 6. That's one more than VO5.
On the forehead's big.
And I'm here to announce a new initiative that I'm starting.
What is that?
Called Bridging the Islands.
Oh.
Where I'm creating an organization that builds bridges, actual bridges that connects islands so they can drive back and forth and form an army to oust their occupying, development-minded
slumlords?
Proletariat slumlords.
Delilah, one question.
Uh-huh.
Boats? Wouldn't boats be cheaper?
Oh. Would they?
No.
Okay, no.
Boats can only fit a certain number of people on there, and you got to go back and forth. I want to bridge constant flow of weapons, machinery, supplies,
oh my God,
anger.
You're like the who won the battle of like Midway in World War II?
Everyone says we would have won World War II faster if we had built more bridges.
So you think that more bridges will lead to a better island development?
Oh.
It's going to lead to you in jail, sir.
Oh my God. This is the first, this has never happened before, Dr. Jim Stacey. We've never threatened jailing to guess. But it feels good. All right. Well, by the way, speaking of feels good, let's get to our topic of the day, which is fornicating with Dr. Fauci. But oh my God, what is going on? Is that your camera's shaking? What is that? Is that an earthquake on your island?
Oh my God, it's splitting apart. Oh no, I'm falling in this.
Oh no. Dr. Jim Stacey, wait. Do you have anything to plug? Any last words before you fall?
Eat the island resources before they deplete it.
Wow, a capitalist to the end. Well, I'm sorry. I guess that's all the time we have.
A condominium just fell on his head.
Oh God! Guess he shouldn't have built that. Okay, and here comes Tom Nook. He's like, "Hey, you owe me $50 or whatever." Well,
he's rummaging through the garbage.
That raccoon. Thank you so much for listening to the Sexperts. That's all the time we have for today. I'm your host, Dr. John T. Alaniz, SCPM.
And I'm Delilah. Hey there, and please stop asking me about VO7. Just enjoy VO6 for a little while.
We'll see you sex time.
Should I say something here?
Got to do it simply true. We're the Sexperts.
That's our show. If you like what you heard and you think it was worth $1, join the official Sexperts fan club at patreon.com/Sexperts podcast. A special thanks to the Push Comedy Theater and all of our supporters. Bye-bye.